Hey guys, sebchoof here. Today, we're going through an extremely PogChamp. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, they used to be called producer letters, but this one's called a team letter. Apparently this one's really pog. It was spoiled to me slightly. Apparently there's a new endgame dungeon. You can like enchant gear a crazy amount. And there's also some problems. Like some pay to win stuff. So let's check it out, shall we? Realmers. A lot has happened over the past years, and it has been a while since we directly talked openly about our development processes. Yeah, it's been a while. Today we want to share with you some of our upcoming plans for Realm of the Mad God, but also reflect on the last year and what we have done so far. Realm has come a long way over the past years and we are just getting started. In this team letter you'll find out about our largest projects currently in work, like equipment rarity, holy, a new Realm expansion, what? With a world boss, and a brand new endgame dungeon, holy shit. We have more in store for all of you, but not everything is yet ready to be shared. Make sure to check out our upcoming testing sessions and teasers on our social media channels in the future, so better follow us everywhere to make sure you are not missing out. I will definitely follow them on Facebook. I will definitely. Realm Rework. Hello gamers, Trident here. Almost a year ago we launched a Realm Rework open beta. This was a major undertaking for the Realm team, and we appreciate the invaluable feedback, bug reports and suggestions provided by our closed testers and UGC partners throughout this journey. We'd like to extend special thanks to Mizumi for their significant contributions in crafting numerous Realm encounters and for their openness to feedback. Equipment rarity. It's already looking cool. Back in 2023, we first introduced enchanting to the game. That was so cringe. There was no randomness, I remember. I actually begged for them to make it random, and they did, so I'm going to take all the credit. The original launch was a little rocky and needed a rework. Unfortunately, that rework was, while far better, still didn't set up the system for the kind of expansion we wanted the game to have. Now it is finally time to improve the system and other related systems to really reach the impact that enchanting was supposed to have. Decadisatrix here. Yeah, this guy was an old dev and he came back, which is really cool. You probably remember me for a few things, mainly Cogbold Steamworks. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't know he made it. That's crazy. Large item balance patches, and more specifically nerfing Crystal Shield. I remember that. So many people raged, but man, looking back, it was so fucking broken. I am excited to be working on a new core itemization expansion through this addition to the enchanting system. Item rarity. The largest part of this update is going to be the item rarity system. All pieces of equipment will now be able to roll with multiple enchantment slots. All equipment, not just tiered, when an item is obtained, it has a chance to roll as a higher rarity, with each rarity corresponding to a number of enchantment slots up to 4 in an item. Damn, that's pretty cool. Hopefully it's not too broken. We want this to shake up the item chase as over time players have run out of increasing goals for their equipment. In many cases, once an item has been acquired, there is little reason to keep running this dungeon. Damn, that would be insane if you lose like this thing to lag. If you like an item, we want you to be able to try to get better versions of it, or just be able to show off your rarest item finds to other players. Simultaneously, we won't be balancing around the 4 slot items as a point of power. Players should be able to not feel pressure to go for the long grind to feel like they meet the standards of power the game is expecting from them. This is kind of what I was begging for with shinies, because shinies, they don't really have any like tangible value. It's just a shiny different sprite, you know? Shiny effect and a bit of a different sprite. So I was begging for them to make them stronger or give them a loot boost, and this might as well be it. And yeah, this is it. Let's see what the difference is. So it's the same other than it's got 1 speed on it. 1 speed, let's go. It has a higher fire rate. What is it normally? 60. Oh, so it's got a 4.5% fire rate increase in 1 speed. I was expecting more power. Like, that isn't even that crazy. It depends on how rare this is. I imagine this is like 4 times as rare as a normal divinity. But, I mean, I'm happy with the being less power than, like, under power creep than more power creep, but, you know, honestly, there's something that I always discuss on stream. They could go crazy with power creep if they incentivized people to not run with pets. Because if they incentivized people to not run with pets, like add a loot boost for it, like 30% loot boost for having no pet on top of like everything, that will slow down the game so much and make it harder for everyone. And they could make things stronger. Regular div does 275 to 325. What? So this went down in damage, did it? Wait, what? It went down in damage? That's so weird. What the hell? What? So you can get negative modifiers? Thank you so much for my supporters. They carry the stream so much. And, yeah, feel free to help the channel by supporting me on Twitch, YouTube through memberships, or Patreon. Okay. While we want to increase the power for you to chase these rare versions of the items, we also think the base rarities of UTs have been too high. Build and gameplay defining items shouldn't take 100 or more runs of a dungeon to get. We will be increasing the rate of all base drop rates of UTs across the game, roughly doubling the rates for most items. Honestly, I don't think... And then it says enchanting and artifacts. With up to 4 slots available, there will be some changes to how enchanting works. Generally, enchanting works how you expect it. You can reroll an item for a new set of random enchantments. Since there are multiple slots now, some enchantments would not be compatible to roll with other specific enchantments. Additionally, enchantments now have weight values, allowing us to tune the specific rarity of certain enchants and create rarer, unique enchantments for players to be excited about. Yeah, see, like, with the bee enchant, that should be one of these random enchantments. And, like, maybe they should tune it down a bit, because it's a bit strong. But, I do think that the enchantment should be like the bee enchant, and not just, like, +1 speed. Because the bee enchant is pretty fun. +1 speed is not so fun. To promote interacting with the enchantment system, the cost of enchanting will no longer be increased every time you try to roll an item, so you are free to roll as many times as you'd like to perfect your item. UT items can also roll any of the normal enchantments and are not locked in to only engravings.
Companions.
And yeah, this is an example of one of the things. Okay, so this is where it's expanded. This wasn't expanded, but this is expanded. These are more interesting than the tiered enchants we have now. So I thought it was just the tiered enchants based on this one, but this one says increases defense by 11% of bonus vitality. So it's more interesting than like the relative bit thing. Damage resistance 1 reduces incoming damage by 2%, and flat life regeneration increases life regeneration by 6 per second. Bonus doubled while out of combat. That's pretty cool. To allow you to have more control over the innate randomness of enchanting, we are also adding a new type of item called artifacts. When rolling enchantments on any item, you will be able to consume artifacts to influence a roll. For example, one artifact may make all attack modifiers 10 times more likely to roll. These artifacts will act as a new reward type that should be common enough to use often. When this system launches, we will be providing a public list of all enchantments/artifacts. That's not fun. And their properties and weights, so players can have a much better time planning their enchantments. That's not fun. It would be much funner to discover it ourselves. Forge and Advanced Dungeons. Coming with the equipment rarity update will be some additional changes to the item forge to make it work alongside the enchantment system as a way to recycle your unwanted items to try and potentially make items with higher slot counts. Holy! Advanced Dungeons will also be getting updates, converting their engravings over to the artifact system and giving them higher chances at enchanted items with their normal dungeon counterparts. As a heads up, current engraved enchantments are going to be made into legacy versions, and not all of them will continue to be available in the future, but if you acquire them now, you will still have access to those after equipment rarity. Damn, that's pretty cool. Awakening of the Primals. It has been nearly 5 years since the release of Oryx Sanctuary. Really? Damn, that's crazy. Holy f***, I'm old. Yeah, it actually has been 5 years, GG. And while some of you still have many exaltations to gain from non-snake bosses, I hope you are as restless as we are for the next stage. Hello, I'm Nanomi, and I go by Deca Nano in-game. I created most of the features in Season 17, Tatalia's Trick or Treat. Grave of Eden. In the waning years of the Primal era, the Primal avatars dedicated as a sacred garden as the place of beauty within the tumultuous world ravaged by the elements. This sanctuary was known as Eden. I love realm lore. A safe haven for all beings born of the realm, yet Eden has all been but forgotten, quietly waiting for souls to witness the ancient world within. Grave of Eden is an endgame island isolated to the west side of the mainland. Oh, that's cool, and will be a permanent addition to the realm. Liberate beacons, unlock the secrets of the temples of the primals, and eventually awaken the titanic, all-new world boss slumbering within the island. That's really cool. I always thought they could add parts to the realm rework, like new islands. Eternity Summit. The devoted gazed in horror as his lord was slain, struck down by a fabled legend, believed to be the first exalted one. I love realm lore. Fleeing the top of the mountain, he devised a plan to return to his master, sacrificing the essence of countless souls to amass the great energies to awaken his deity. For thousands of years, he toiled under one guiding command: Xil must return. Holy sh**! Xil is back. If you guys watched my iceberg video, you probably saw that for the longest time, Mountain Temple was meant to get like extensions to the dungeon that include like Xil. Does Xil still like grab the boss at the end of the boss fight in Mountain Temple? Upon the completion of the Grave of Eden, a new threat will rise for the most daring and experienced of adventurers. The Eternity Summit is a new pinnacle endgame dungeon, releasing with new tier 15 weapons and armors, and powerful UTs to match. Ascend the summit and break free of your mortal limitations to face the power of a living god, the ancient dragon Xil. Holy shit. Raid tickets, To supplement our endgame content, we're introducing a new system that aims to help players with less time and friends to break into the endgame. Raid tickets are a new currency resource that players gain on a timed basis for free, allowing them to vastly boost raid eligible bosses rewards at the cost of one ticket. Tickets are only consumed as you acquire your rewards. So this system will strive to be easier and more automated than loot drop accelerators. Wait, what? I don't know, man, but this is obviously a bit of a pay-to-win part. For high-intensity challenges, you can use the free tickets as a way of earning plentiful rewards, even if you don't have the time to run dozens of raids. If you're accustomed to the raid lifestyle, I love Discords. Tickets would still allow you to boost content that otherwise wouldn't be supported through keys, such as Oryx Sanctuary, Grave of Eden, and eventually Eternity Summit. Oh, so these are two different endgame dungeons. That's pretty cool. If the devs are listening, please do not over-test, have too much public testing for new content. It has killed so much shit in the game before. It has made, it kind of killed Shatters for a lot of people. And it killed Kensei. I remember when Summoner came out for the first time, and Bard, everyone was playing, because no one got to play it yet. But when Kensei came out, almost no one was playing. Like, a quarter of people were playing versus almost every single person with Summoner and Bard, because they had I counted, it was 6 or 7 testing sessions for Kensei before it actually got released in the game. Please, for the love of God, do not over-test it. That's all from me and the designers working on major game expansions planning this year. Let's take a look at the smaller projects from Deca team that we plan to ship throughout the year. Account levels. Recently, you were able to have a first glance at the account level system. Realm of the Mad God in the general has some issues with introducing new players into the game. We are working on several things to combat this. Account levels show your progress in the game. You can experience by defeating enemies. You can earn experience by defeating enemies, completing dungeons, and even death-related character info. So as you level up, your account grows, and every time you reach a new level, you get a new unique reward. There are different types of rewards, from cosmetic and gameplay items to permanent upgrades like loot and XP boosts, and higher tier starting gear. Account levels are mainly for our newer players to work towards a goal, unlock rewards and that help them progress better and safer, and so on. We have also heard your feedback and plan to expand this system in the future for our current endgame and beyond. Right now we are mainly hoping to improve the early game, but the system will be expanded in the future and has a lot of potential. We'll be able to shape the feature based on your feedback and input. Holy, maybe we'll be able to spawn with tier 15 items in the future, hopefully. Steam achievements! One of the most reported issues that we have are our Steam achievements. They have not been working since the switch to our Unity client, and a lot of you are confused, especially when first starting out the game. Why no achievements are unlocked when completing them? So where we are currently having a first look at doing a complete overhaul of the Steam achievement system. This means adding new achievements, fixing old ones, or even removing them. We don't have a fixed timeline for this yet, but please be aware that we are working on it. I don't know how to read. We did a poll recently on our Discord server, and the majority of the community seems to be fine with us wiping the current system to replace it with something new and up to date. First time user experience improvements. We noticed that a lot of new players had a hard time understanding the game, as the learning curve seems to be rather steep. This is why we'll be working on a new and improved tutorial to make it easier for all our new players to enjoy the game. We will also change the way the classes become available, unlocking them through fame, and removing the requirement to become proficient at a previous class that may or may not be appealing to everyone. Weird, but okay. There are some other improvements that we may be making, the likes of changing loading screens and more. Ooh, I gotta show you guys something cool. In regards to loading screens, hold on, let me get it up. Wait, maybe this is a leak. This was on Saturn's thing. It's got the dragon in the background. Has this even been a wallpaper before? This is so much better. When you arrive in the Nexus, I didn't show this. Nexus. Yeah, isn't that cool? Wow. But yeah, you guys should follow Saturn on Twitter. They post a lot of really cool things. This is their Twitter page. You should also follow me while you're at it. With this, we hope to improve the early experience of new players and increase the realm of the Mad God community. Finally! We believe that the game is a lot of fun and want new players to experience that without having too much of a hassle learning how to play it. While we're not directly aimed at new players, we will keep doing the quality of life and class modernizations we have done over the past months. While those take time, we want to make sure these classes feel good and play while removing old issues from the game. I was always advocating for class modernizations before they released a new class. But I really feel like it's time to add a new class. I really feel like it's time. It's been so long, and it would be so hype. Class modernizations do not bring anywhere near as much hype as new classes. Unless they overtest. Unless they overtest new classes like they did in the past. Because Kensei really didn't feel that hype after all the public testing. Yeah, gun classes would be so cool. I think gun classes would work really well. Like, you know how Terraria has laser guns and stuff? It was really off-putting to me initially. It was such a weird vibe change, because there was no lasers and stuff. But it makes more sense in Realm to have laser guns and stuff, because they have a HTT, cog board. It makes sense. And that would be so cool. Like, it could be a UT. But, like, they could also have pirate guns, stuff like that. And this is just last part. Thank you. We want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. Even me? Realm of the Mad God is a rather old game, and it's not normal to have such a dedicated fanbase for such a period of time. We try our best to consider your feedback and your input, which is one of the reasons we hold public testing sessions relatively often. I don't know how valuable the input is it? When Tavern came out, Tavern would have been so hype if they released it straight into the game, and I feel like that didn't require testing, it was so basic. But when they released it, in the game, it still had that issue where the Demetus and stuff didn't spawn. And I reported it, and it was an issue for so long. And I wouldn't be surprised if it still is a bug. Is it still a bug? Oh, it's fixed. I'm pretty sure that was recent, right? I feel like it was only recent fixed. That's cool. My total thoughts. I saw a lot of people complaining about power creep. And I've complained about power creep like crazy before. But this isn't power creep. 1 speed? Are you crying about 1 speed? And the damage is lower, and the fire rate is 4.5% higher. And this is for 4 slots. I'm sure there's some other hidden enchantments on this. But I actually wouldn't mind this getting a boost in power, I'm not gonna lie. This isn't that great. Like, this doesn't get me that hyped, and doesn't make me want to farm it. I don't think I'll ever be in the state that I used to be in Realm, where I used to try to min-max and farm, because I love challenge running too much, and playing from scratch. And surprisingly, my surprising take on the system is I actually think that it needs more power creep, I'm not gonna lie. And they need to make the... Sorry, hiccups. They need to make them more interesting, the enchantments. I think they're already more interesting than the things, but they need to be like the bee enchantments. Like, imagine like an engraving that slows enemies, at least for 0.5 seconds. Like a frost enchant, or a fire enchant, or a bleeding enchant, you know? That would be more interesting, instead of just flat stats. Because that's what this is. Flat numbers. I want to see a tangible effect on enemies, you know? At least like a burning animation or something, you know? I don't know, something cool. By the way, my take on advanced dungeons, they grew on me. I was against advanced dungeons at in the beginning. But I actually think they're a good idea, because not only are they quite easy to make compared to brand new dungeons, it's a good way to deal with the current power creep. It's just harder versions of the same dungeons, you know? I think the Nest and the Steamworks is differentiated enough, but they could do with a tiny bit more differentiation, in my opinion. And yeah, this should be interesting. New hardest dungeon in the game. I assume this will be the new hardest dungeon in the game if it's got tier 15 weapons. That's more than Shadows. Raid tickets, obviously pay to win. Honestly, my take on pay to win stuff in the game, and cheating to some extent, I've actually not cared about cheating and paying to win as much as in the past. I used to be extremely against both. But that's only because I became a lot more casual of a player. Like, I don't take the game seriously anymore. If you take the game seriously, you're going to hate the game. You want to play more casually, avoid discords. Avoid discords as much as you can, and you won't feel the effects of pay to win and cheating as much. Or things that I wish that they mentioned. Where is removing fog from realms? They talked about it at least 12 months ago. Where is it, man? Or maybe not 12 months ago, at the very least 6 months ago. How is it not in the game yet? I know it's in the game in Nexus and stuff, but like, it should be in the realms. And man, I'm begging for PPE mode, man. I do think it would be the best update in the game, PPE mode. And you can look at any other game that added it and how successful it's been. And Deca said that Crucible mode was so easy to add. Like, it didn't take them much time at all, or effort. So PPE mode also shouldn't take that much effort, and it would be so cool. But that's the only two things. I wish they talked about anti-cheating more. They used to always have a part about talking about tackling cheaters. Now I guess they're just opening the floodgates, I guess. I don't know. And also, I do hope that they add a incentive to not play with pets, because that will help tackle the power creep. Because soon, in the realm, it's just going to be like every O3 in public realms will just be so as... I think that's about it. Cool. Thumbs up. By the way, I should also say, if you're looking to get a free divine pet as soon as possible, you should click on this video. Do you guys see this video here? This one.